Oh, and welcome back to Grandia with me, Matthew Caddis, aka Puggy. So today we will head through the eastern Wrangle Mountains, and that means fighting more enemies we've already fought before, including the odd birds, which I've already gone over, but this episode is already short enough as it is, seriously, so I'm going to leave this in. Add to that, we are also, before we even reach the Sult Ruins, going to go through part of the Misty Forest. Yes, that is the thing, so we get a taster of what the Misty Forest is actually like. Yes, apparently even the Misty Forest is so big that we can't avoid it. Fair, I guess. But for now, I'm still beating down various enemies and whatnot, such as the odd birds, of course. So that being said, let's go one, I think. How many level ups I do not know, so I will go and avoid these birds if I can, or maybe not. Maybe I can't. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna head over this way and get some money or something. There is another mana egg, as I have mentioned, in this area. That's why I didn't go straight back to Palm. Well, you can't really. You'd have to go all the way back through the western Wrangle Mountains as well, so don't want to do that. Oh no. So, we've already seen the spitting cobras, but I'm just lazy here. Seriously. The amount of times I would have to edit out all of these fights is going to be insane, so yeah. Given the way Grandia is set up as an RPG, then yeah, may not want to. Although I'm glad that the Cobras also drop antidotes. That's very good if you don't have the cure spell on any of your party. Basically, this game's equivalent of the poisoner spell from the Final Fantasy games. If that makes any sense. So, nowhere. Okay, well, there's a couple of birds there, and more worms as well. Giant worms, that is. And, let's see. I believe that leads over to where the Sult Ruins are. I still haven't found that mana egg yet! So, I'm gonna keep going to find that mana egg. I believe it's around here somewhere. In fact, it doesn't even appear as a mana egg on the, field map, really. No, but it just... You'd think that were a potion or something, but no, that was actually a mana egg. The very item you need to get any magic. And a power fruit. Who shall I give that to? Sue, I guess. Although, having said that, no spoiler territory, that is. Okay. By the way, that spell she learns at level, I think it's level 3, water leveling up will be the snooze spell, which, as it suggests, it puts enemies to sleep. And not one of my favourite spells, to be honest, unless you're planning to use magic on the enemy immediately afterwards. And at this point in the game, probably not a good idea, because we don't have many spells yet. Yes, I have taught how to Fina, but she doesn't even get the first tier, dare I even say it, thunder spell with fire and thunder. She only gets the, I don't know if it's a top tier one, because there's also Gadzap, I think there's also, but yeah, as for, I'll use an antidote on Sue. I do not want her keeling over in the next area, because we may well need her, especially if I get the burn spell on Sue, because she will need that. She will most certainly need that. So back to the town of New Palm, where I can buy some more magic. I have 2 mana eggs, so I might as well make good use of them. That's the Adventurous Hotel. I want to go to the Adventurous store and indeed spend my mana eggs. So let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna get digging on Justin. That'll be good for him to learn explosion spells, and water on Fina. And yes, there is a reason, because combining wind with water gives us ice spells in this game. Seriously. Considering how the mana egg system actually works in this game. And then Grandia 2 goes and destroys it. Seriously. If anything, I actually like the leveling up system in this game a lot more than this game's sequel, if that makes any sense. Anyway, over to the Dom Ruins, although, as I say, we have to go through part of the Misty Forest to get there. So the big thing about the road to the Dom Ruins, as it's called in-game, is that there are a large number of Ents. Not trees, Ents. We're boring from the thing. You'll notice them because they always go bah. Yeah, why you saying you're short in Spanish? I do not know, but yeah. Bah. What the bah is that? Well, they're trying to see who let the dogs out. Anyway, that being said, yeah, that's the main reason I have an axe equipped on Justin. Ents and the various other sort of enemies or tree-based enemies that are weak to, well, yes, fire. But also, I'm surprised I didn't use a burn flame with Fina there. Seriously, I'm guessing because I didn't want to do that. Be careful with the nut bomb, that can do a lot of damage. Even cancel you as it did with Justin there. So, yeah, let's go for that guy. Sorry about the stuttering video there. Seriously, the axe actually one-hit KOs the end. Seriously. Yeah, well, you're not Baha anymore, are you? Definitely not. You're actually much shorter than Baha. And yes, I'm going to keep saying Baha. This is a funny cry, seriously. Baha. Sounds like they're singing it or something. Well, anyway. Yeah, some more money there. But yeah, Ents are the only enemy, although they are also very tough enemies in this area. Seriously. Though they are good fodder for learning, for leveling up Justin's axe skills, and also anyone who's got a fire spell, so in this case Justin or Fina. We'll see many more of those as we go on our adventure, but for now I am just going to wander through here. So Speed Seed, I'll give that to Justin. Okay, I didn't think he was that slow, to be honest with Justin, so... But never mind, I'm guessing he is. Right, go through here then, and straight up towards the other end where we will get another Okay. I'm sorry, I cannot unsee the Ents without going Baja. But that being said, let's go through here and turn right and hopefully get out of this forest. It is kind of like a maze. Not as bad as in Super Mario RPG, obviously, but well, then again, it also doesn't have the awesome music that got remixed so much. Yes, I remember Roest Forest and Waltz of the Forest, but let's not talk too much about that. Anyway, that being said, let's go through here. Eventually you come across this rather stony road. This will take us straight into the Dom Ruins, where we will see indeed these weird looking rocks. Seriously. Okay. More on that later, I think, because we'll learn what the Garlow forces are up to a bit later. Yeah, Justin, as Vina mentioned, is the sort of guy who will get excited just at looking scenery. Anyway, here's our first new enemy, the red slimes. Again, they are just like the other slimes in that they divide and unleash their terrible gas upon you, although it does have a different effect for each coloured slime, if that makes any sense. They're still seemingly weak against fire, so I will use a burn spell on them. And no, I do not want to unleash the Flame Burner with Fina there. Given that she's already learned Burn Flame, I want Justine to learn Burn Flame. Especially for the next boss, because he's quite tough. He's quite defensive as well. But never mind that, so let's go on. And a few level ups, absolutely. That will not go amiss at all. There's the save point. Let's go down here. And, do I want to heal? Maybe. I suppose I could use the amount of sweets, but they only heal about 15 HP. The other enemy that is down here is the Sand Diver, which, as its name suggests, uses earth attacks. So you're probably best using a Howl spell with Fina here. Although I said that, I'm just attacking them physically. Fair enough. That works too. That most definitely works too. Hurting Fina here, seriously. But yeah, they can use Tremor on you, and I believe it's a very annoying attack as well. Which I think decreases your movement with these Sand Divers. There is a save point, but it's on the other end of the bridge, and it is blocked off by some stone pillars there. So be very careful there. Some more enemies here, and they actually ambush me, but never mind. After that, I probably will use Howl on these guys, just to get a good spell off on them. Oh, blow them away, blah blah blah, and we'll blow them away, but let's see how good these Howl Slash is the better wind attack in my opinion. Less so Howlnado, but we'll get to that a bit later. There's a reason why I don't use it, and it will be shown much later on in the game. Seemingly the Sand Divers are quite evasive. Given that they like to, as their name suggests, dive into the ground, that's understandable, I suppose. So, yeah, although they do give you quite a bit of gold, to be honest. Yeah, so fighting those guys is quite worth your while. Having said that, for more money and more Sand Divers and whatnot, most of them there. So yeah, and then we get to the actual Dom Ruins there, which I do not want to go in yet. I want to save. Absolutely, I do want to save. The Sand Divers did deplete quite a bit of my HP, and on the next episode we'll go in the ruins. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.